Good morning, YouTube. Actually, it's afternoon for us. We're here with the big dogs, and we have a special treat for the chickens. Hi. Oh, hi, Clementine. Hi. Yes, you're a good girl. I see you. Oh, no, don't jump me. There's the chickens. They're going to come see us. We're going to give the chickens a treat, and we're going to show you what we're going to be doing out here on today's video. Hi, chickens. What's going on, ladies? Hi. Hi, Boomer. Hi, Boom Boom. How's it going? You can see everything's holding up well over here with the cob. Boomer has not been able to dig anymore, which is awesome. There's Betty. She says you and Agatha. These two are the culprits every time. Hi, girls. Hi. Come over here. We got a treat for you. Hi, ladies. Hi. Come on over, girls. Oh boy, it's about to get exciting. So we're gonna give the chickens a treat today, and then I'll show you what we're gonna get into. Hi, what'd you think? It's coming. It's coming. It's happening. We've got a couple little projects to do before we go on our trip. One of them involves the chickens and the other involves the dogs. So that's what we're gonna get into today. The chickens are gonna have a pumpkin. They do love a pumpkin. Look, they're all quiet now. Hi, guys. What do you think, huh? What do you think about that? You gonna go eat? That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So I'll show you kind of what we're getting into today. We are gonna be doing 2 watering stations. One of them is gonna be for the chickens. Right now we have these waterers. One hangs on our big spool, and I took out some of the interior spool sections and moved them to the outside so that we could make this kind of shady food and treat area. I always put their oyster shell, and then they have a block, it's barely visible now, in there that we put like a treat block in there for them. We also have this metal waterer, which they like. We tried to train them on those smaller waterers back in the day, but what we found is these ones, for some reason, they really like to just dip the water out. So we're going to be doing a big blue barrel with a watering system in it, which I'll show you. And then we have another, this is the dog water. It's outside the chicken coop. This area is part of the dog area. You can see Jack is in there. I'll go around and show that to you. So we have our main corral is about an acre, and I don't know if you can see the edges. This is where you've seen us working before on making progress on the chicken coop. And then we have the area, there's the main gate over there. It's a double gate so we can pull the tractor in. Eventually, this framed area you can see will be a tractor barn, like a tractor shed, just a open kind of carport area. This area here is going to be where there'll be a greenhouse eventually. And this is our compost bin. And the fenced area for the dogs, it goes all the way, you can't see the fence from here, but it's about an acre around, and it completely surrounds our chicken coop, which is over here. And I see you, Clementine. I know. She's like, you've got to pet me. You're right here. So that the dogs, their purpose, of course, is to protect the chickens and be wonderful. So they do that, of course, first of all, by surrounding the coop. The coop, as you know, basically the run of the coop starts here and goes around like a letter C. It's completely accessible to us standing full height, which I like. We're still working on the coop, but then one section of the dog run actually goes into here, and it surrounds basically a letter C, or like an L shape around that chicken coop area. And this is the original training area we had the dogs in when we first trained them to the fencing, to make sure they wouldn't escape or do anything crazy. So we have a hotline around this. We have a hotline spread around the rest of the area as well, but it's actually not turned on. They just think it is. So they go in there. This is kind of their zone where we feed them and where they have their water station. We have a water tank here. It's an IBC tote. I have it raised up on pallets. And eventually we're going to do rainwater catchment off the chicken coop into this, and then it'll feed into this dog waterer here. This dog waterer is, I can't remember the company that we got. Oh, it's Trojan. It's Water Fount BB09 by Trojan. And this is for the dog waterer. chickens are very excited. We raised it up on a pallet because we found that the dogs wanted to dig in it and like swim, and so we made it a little bit high, and then we put it on a pallet so it wouldn't get muddy under it. They wouldn't be excited about digging and all of that stuff. So we have that watering source for them, but it is inside this original L-shaped run. This run goes, there's Jack hanging out in the shade. Hi, Jack. Hi, buddy. Hi, sweet boy. I see you. This run goes around. It has trees and things in it, and it goes around all the way down that direction. So it's a big area, and our goal is eventually we want to have at least 1 litter of puppies, and we want for this area to be the puppy area so that they can learn and be with mom and not be bothered by the other big male dogs. So we'll be separating this off, which means there'll be water in here, but the boy dogs, the grown male dogs, will be outside for a little while when puppies arrive at some point in the future. And so in order to keep puppies safe while they're little tinies, we're going to need to put another watering station like this out here in the main area for the boys to access. So what we're going to be doing, in addition to making the barrel system for the chickens a larger watering source for them, we're going to be putting one of those blue fountain things for the dogs out here in this area. This is our main water tank that will be for irrigation for a greenhouse eventually, but it's also what we use to make cob out here, feed the chickens, or give the chickens their water, give the dogs their water. We transfer water from this tank over to that tank right now until we get our catchment set up for them. And so today we will be working on creating another drinking fountain station here for the boy dogs, while if there comes a time when we have puppies and they're separated from Clementine, the boy dogs will be out here and able to access a lot of water as well. So we're working on that watering station, and we'll be using a blue 55-gallon drum barrel to create an additional watering system for the chickens. And mainly that's so that when we go on our trip, we have a helper staying here on the property, and she will be here to water the chickens and give them food and take care of the dogs and all of that. We want to make it a little easier for her so she has a little less work to do while we go on our little trip that's coming up here shortly. So anyway, that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to be out here. It is a little bit sunny today. Again, unfortunately, it's a little warm all of a sudden again. Hopefully we're getting to the end of these warm snaps, like a cold snap, but the worst kind. But we'll be working out here and in the chicken coop today, and we'll get into more of the details there, but that's basically the purpose of what we're doing today. So we'll see you in a few. We'll start on our projects and then check back in with you. All right. Don't mind the chicken laying an egg in the background. We're out here by the coop, starting on our first project, which is the chicken water barrel. I wanted to show you, I'm sorry for the wind. I'm going to try to maybe put it on a different, maybe a time lapse, I don't know, to show some of it to keep out of the wind. But this is what we're working with today. We have a blue barrel. This is a 55-gallon drum. It's a food grade barrel, and it has two spouts. We've used these for other things in the past, and we had one here as an extra. And our plan, this does not have the removable lid. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually use the jigsaw and cut this this opening here around this way, leaving the lip, this little edge part up here. And my plan is, we have to do that because in order to attach this chicken waterer thing that I got this from Chewy, and you can see the pictures of what the chickens are supposed to do. This is the way they drink. We tried some other waterers that you can put on a PVC pipe, and they just didn't take to them for some reason. But for this trip, we're going to try this, and we'll revisit the other waterers at another time. But this is similar to the style of drinking they're used to doing. So we're going to attach this. It has all of the parts with it. You drill a hole in the side of the barrel, and you put this part on the inside, and there's a washer for the outside. This has a little float, and in there. I don't think you can see it because it's black and it's dark in there, but there's a float. And so this goes on whatever size bucket or barrel you have, and then it only lets out a certain amount of water so that the chickens can just drink out of it. So if they like this, if they do well with it, we'll probably order more and put on this barrel around the bottom of it so they can reach it. And then that's 55 gallons at a time that they have. Eventually we'll have rainwater catchment set up over there at the coop, and then we'll put a float in the top of this. So in order to drill a hole and attach this, we're going to need to have access to the inside of the barrel, which means we can't do that through this little hole. So we're going to cut this off and make a removable lid. We don't have a lid that fits it, so the plan is I'm going to use some scrap 2x6 that we use for our pole barn structure that we're working on here. And that 2x6, I have several of these. I'm going to cut them and screw them to a piece of plywood that I have here, which is an old piece of plywood. I'm going to cut a circle in the plywood that is the same shape and size as the section we cut out of here, or slightly bigger actually, something that will fit around the top of this lip that will catch on it, and then screw these boards in a circular shape to the bottom of that lid. And then to protect that lid from the elements, I'm going to use a scrap of metal that we've used in several other projects to cover it. The chickens will jump up on this, I'm sure, and they'll be sitting here. It'll be in the sun and the rain and the wind and all that. So that will be a removable lid that we can attach to here, take it off to refill the barrel. Later time we can put a float in the top of the barrel so that it can refill off of the rainwater catchment we already have, and we'll be able to utilize this for a lot. Like we right now we're changing the chicken waterers every 3 or 4 days, depending on, you know, how hot it is. So this will give us a few more days of, you know, time before we have to change it, and it'll make it a little bit more automated. So that's what we're working on today. This is called the Maxi Cup. We got it from Chewy, and we're going to try it. We haven't done this one yet, but this is all the pieces that are in here. You can see it here, it's put together, but that's the float system and how it all works. So we're going to be working on that. I'm going to show cutting the hole, and then I'm going to move on to cutting the wood and creating the lid. So I'll probably just put you guys on a fast thing for a time lapse for that, so you can see it as we go, and then we'll check back in at the end of that time. Okay, post time lapse. Hopefully you could see what I was doing there. I have a circle cut out of the plywood, and you can see that I screwed from the top side essentially, and then I cut out it's rough because, you know, I hand drew the circle for this part, but I cut out 4 pieces of that scrap 2x6 to fit and make basically a lid with a rim, so that this 1.5 inch thing will hold on to the top of our barrel. Here's the top of our barrel. It cut out really well. The thickest part was over on the edges there. It had like some water in it where it had leaked through the rains and stuff. So we got that out, and this is all in there, and the lip is up here, and it's nice and strong. And this lid, it goes on here like this. So you can see it fits kind of like that. And then the idea is to use this scrap piece of metal that I have when it's done, and then I will screw this to the top of it. I probably won't trim it to a circle either, just to, you know, let it be. It fits almost, like it has a little tiny bit left over, but this is a pretty good size. It's an odd piece, and it's a good way to use it because the chickens are going to be sitting up here and rain and all that. And then this, in order to hold this on for wind, I'll drill in some cup hooks into this really thick part of the plastic. that I have, and then put a bungee, rubber bungee across so that it stays on when we want it, when it's full. And then now the next step is to drill a hole in the bottom part. I did the easy part, as I like to do, and then John's gonna do the hard part of reaching down in there and drilling the hole through and getting all that. Actually, we don't have to reach down in so much to drill. We can drill from the outside. But when we put the pieces on, we'll have to be inside the barrel to do that part. So that's the progress so far. I'll go ahead and get out of John's way, and I'll just film him putting the correct hole in here. And the trick is with this, that we want to match or go just slightly smaller than this size with the drill bit that we use. That way, when we drill our hole, this has something to thread to, because this is about, I'd say it's less than a 1/4 inch thick. You know, so it's not super thick, but it's thick enough to have some threading on there. So when we look at our drill bits, we kind of want to pick one that's slightly smaller than, you know, than that. So we're gonna work on that a little bit. John's gonna work on that actually, because this is the hard part, and that's cool for him to do it. And then I will just be filming it. All right, so we're ready. We've got the appropriate size drill bit. It's a 1/2 inch. It actually calls for a 1/2 inch. I didn't realize that because I didn't read the instructions. This part is not mine. It's for John. But we put the barrel up on the table. We discussed like where to put it, and we decided we're going to put this a few inches from the bottom of the barrel so that we allow for some sediment in the barrel. If anything funky gets in here, it shouldn't, with the UV protection of the color of the barrel. But if there's any sediment or anything that gets in there, it can settle, and then this will be above it. What that does though is if this barrel was sitting on the ground, then it would make it maybe a little bit short for the chickens to want to drink out of, because we have their stuff about like head height for a chicken. So what we decided is we would put this low so that we can utilize the largest portion of our water stores for them, but then we can place this barrel up on a pallet or two inside the chicken coop in order to give them the room that they need to be able to comfortably drink out of it. So we're going for it. Right. No going back now.
Right there?
Yeah, sounds good to me. It's good because I'm not doing it.
I think I'll have to do a smaller screw
to start it.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with a smaller bit and graduate up. It's actually pretty thick, which is nice. It's a thick walled material. It says it's 2.2 milliliters. That's the vent. So I guess that's something similar. So he's going to do a step up with the drill. Step it up a little bit more and a little bit more. And plus, it could be, I've used these bits for a long time, and this could be a little bit dull, let's be real. So it's a little bit blunt for this to start. So in the same hole again, slightly bigger.
I think it'll go now.
Okay, so now it has a start, essentially. Whoops. Okay.
Go one more.
I've probably overused that bit. We're gonna step up one more time. It's good, it's thick plastic.
Yeah. It's gonna hold the water.
Yeah. And this has a washer on it to help with that too. Stop the gap. Alright, so my bit's just too wonky. We're going to use this special bit. I love this bit. It's a step bit, and it goes down to 1/2 inch, so we can start it a little bit, but it kind of, you can see the shape of it. It's going to make more of a tapered shape. So you have to be careful that you don't go, when you're using these bits, that you don't go too deep. These are great for metal. I like to use them for that. So he's putting his finger at the 1/2 inch mark, so you can go through, and then that give this bit a little bit more room to seat itself at the beginning. Those little taper bits are amazing. I have such a much easier time with like any kind of metal. I love those bits. There we go. All right, we're in. And then the hard part comes, putting this thing in. So now this part goes on the outside too, is that right?
Yeah, it's inside.
Okay. But the washer goes on the outside or the inside?
Inside.
Okay, so all that goes on the inside. And you can see the shape of this thing is kind of curved to go against that barrel like that. So it goes in there, and then all those bits and bobs go in, and they tighten against the wall with the washer.
Let's see, let's read it again. It says, remove the nut filter, place the maxi cut spigot through the hole, leaving the washer on the outside. So I'm assuming it's that side, but maybe.
Oh, I think the washer on the outside maybe. Okay. But I don't know. Okay, YouTube, you guys help us. We're going to see.
So you think here?
Well, it says leave the washer on the outside, but see, here's the thing I have is this thing goes on the inside, obviously, and it has a little screen in there to protect it from sediment. And then there's an extra piece in your hand. And when you put this on there to tighten it against that washer, there's a gap, which would make sense that it's this gap, but I don't know that that's right.
Leaving the washer on the outside and tighten down the nut until it forms a seat with the wall. So it's going to seat against the wall.
Okay, so this is the nut.
Yeah, so this is going to go like this, I think.
It would make sense to me, it makes sense the washer on the inside, because that's where the water is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
To seal it.
Okay. Maybe they have their words wrong, because that doesn't make any sense this on the outside. I guess we'll try it, put some water in it and see if it leaks.
Maybe you just don't know what's outside and inside.
I guess. I don't know.
Hold that for me?
Yeah, I'll hold that. Here's the nut. Hold on a second. Here's that. And then I'll hold this part. And then John is going in. He's going in. Okay. That makes sense because the washer is there. Like, that's where the water is. So it's tightening. That's good. Yes. We're flat against it. Okay. All right. And then this thing, I think the purpose of this, there leaves a gap on the stem, but I think it's just to have the screen to kind of filter any sediment. Right?
Yep.
John's in. This is the hard job. I can get in there. I can't see it anyway, but there it is. Okay. I think that's right.
Yeah.
We could always just silicone the heck out of it out here. When all else fails, get some caulk and put on it. Okay. That's good. And if you look at the pictures of this on here, it conveniently doesn't show, but on this barrel, on the barrel one, it looks like there's not a washer outside in the picture, at least. So I think that's right. So here it is from the inside. There's less of a gap between that. And then that is the sediment filter that comes with it. So then we'll fill it with water and test it. All right. Are you ready to go into the coop?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we are inside the coop. There's the girls. They're a little freaked out by this new addition, the barrel. This is their favorite water. So you can see it's like trough style watering. This is the other one we have hanging, which they drink out of too. And then this is the new setup. So I did bring in a small pallet, and then we leveled it because there is a natural slope to the ground. We leveled it a little bit forward to put pressure on this here. And then I think generally the placement here is right because we're gonna put the lid on here, but ultimately we can run a line from this water tank, which will be for rain catchment, into this. and fill this tank consistently with a float on the top from that tank. For now, we're gonna fill it and test it and let the chickens get used to it. Of course, Betty is the first to investigate. She's the brave soul. Black Betty, come on, girl. Anyway, but we put it right next to their other water, and we put it at the same height so they can get used to it. And then we may choose to raise it higher in the future. This one's a little bit higher. When they drink from that one, they actually are up on the bottom of the spool, so it's similar height to this one. So we're going to try it and see if it leaks. We're going to work on that. I got the lid, and I'm going to bring over the metal to put on it. But this is the end of the chicken waterer saga. And there's the dogs loving their spot outside. Hi guys. Loving their little guard spot. And then Jack, he's over here. So the deal is, Jack is his own man, but Boomer and Clementine are in love with each other, so they are always together, these two. So anyway, I know I said in this video we would be doing the additional dog waterer as well, but this one's getting a little long because this took a second. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here and let you know how it goes in a future update. But so far it's looking good. The chickens, we're going to let them get used to it and explore everything. Anything new, they have to really investigate it. So we're going to spend some time out here with the girls, courting the new barrel and figuring this thing out with them. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. I hope we learned something. I hope we got the washer on the right spot. I think we did. That's what makes sense to me. Sometimes words are confusing on the instructions, but we'll see what happens. But they're coming to investigate it, so hopefully they'll enjoy this and it'll give them a larger segment of water. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you did, please like and subscribe and share with all your people, and we will catch you on the next update on Sunday. Say bye, puppies. Okay, I lied. I'm cutting back in for about a minute. They love it. They have all come over and decided this is the way to do drinking water from now on. It's hilarious. They're just, Betty especially was taking up some space. Now she's moving out, but they love it. So far no leaks. We don't see any leaks off of the area, and you can see in here we've just got enough to kind of test the water. It's above the, I think you can see it's above the line there. Let me see if I can put my shadow on it. There you go. It's above the line, and it has a float built into the system so it doesn't overflow out here. So pretty genius. It's toilet bowl technology at its best right there. So we love it. We can also get more of these things and put them around here for more chicken access, which we'll probably do at some point in the next few weeks once we work on trying to phase these other two out and give them more spaces to drink. And then ultimately we can attach a tank float into the top of here and then let it fill with a hose off of this bigger tank that's over here. So it can just kind of self-fill, and then when we fill the tanks or we catch rain, all we have to worry about is filling this tank, and this one will be more automatic. So they love it, and look at them. They're all trying to get a bite of the new water. So anyway, now is the end for real of the video. We've got to keep you guys guessing on all of that. So anyway, catch you next time. We'll see you on Sunday, and I hope you have a fantastic week. And for real this time, it's the end of the video.